any adults, whether relatives or otherwise, who knew that this child was being molested and failed to report it, they are also criminally liable.
You vlog them tougher. Enough get flagging through your vlogging. Hey, them should have glad the music you choose to run the place. I know the black with the chrome where they in a waist. Should have glad the music you choose to run the place is not the black. Give thanks to that or else you sing Amazing Grace.
Hey, me I said if you know say I keep represent to the fullest, you know what I mean? The Scluba. Everything lock in to the fullest. Out there upon them. Beat.
Yeah, people, bless up. So there's a video circulating of Mr. Vegas confronting the alleged predator who molested his son when his son was 7 years old. Now, this subject has garnered a lot of interest, and so I am going to use this video as a teaching moment, as a moment to educate about what it means to protect children. Additionally, I am going to outline clearly why it is a bad idea to upload a video to the internet of an alleged predator who has not gone through due process. Now, let's get into the discussion. And as me say, may I use this as a teaching moment. And the bright scholars can also tune in because none of us know everything. Alright? So let me start by saying, in law, a child under the age of 12 cannot commit a crime. And that is a foregone conclusion. It is predetermined in the law. It is called the age of criminal responsibility. A child under the age of 12 years old cannot commit a crime. Let me put up the law and let us read it together. Now, according to section 63 of the Child Care and Protection Act, it shall be conclusively presumed that no child under the age of 12 can be guilty of an offense. The law says it is conclusively presumed. You know what conclusively means? You can't argue it in a court. The law predetermined that a child who is under 12 years old cannot commit a crime. Now here's the thing, I'm going to talk to parents now. If you have your little pitney, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever age, and there's another child, whether it be a family member or a friend, that is under the age of 12, and you see that child displaying any sort of predatory or aggressive or assaultive behavior towards your children or towards your child, you have a responsibility to ensure so you move your pitney out of that situation. Because if anything happens, even if this 11-year-old or 10-year-old kill your pitney, the law already predetermines that this child cannot be convicted of an offense. So it means the onus is on parents to monitor and to protect their children. Now, I just want to get that out there because I think of information that people need because it's important to know. It doesn't mean though that the authorities cannot take any action. This child can be sent to counseling. This child can be sent to a juvenile detention center. However, before this child can even be sent to a juvenile detention center, the court must ensure that whoever has the responsibility or whoever have the responsibility exhaust all other options before this child is sent to a juvenile facility. Now, let me read it just in case people think me I make this up. Section 79 of the Child Care and Protection Act. A court shall not order a child under the age of 12 years to be sent to a juvenile correctional center unless for any reason the court is satisfied that the child cannot be suitably dealt with otherwise. So you have to exhaust every other option, and the court must be satisfied that there is nothing else we can do for this child but to send them to a juvenile detention center. So the law is pretty clear where this is concerned. So let's now get into the meat of the matter. Now the alleged victim in this situation now happens to be 19 years old based on the information that I have gathered. This person is now an adult and should be able to adequately represent themselves and their situation. Alright, so here are some of the questions we want to clear up for people and present the facts so them understand it. Question number 1. When this child was being molested, who had custody of the child? Why is this important? Let's read what the law says and then we can elaborate. A person commits an offense if the person being an adult and having the custody, charge or care of any child willfully assaults, physically or mentally, ill-treats, neglects, abandons or exposes such child, or causes or procures the child to be assaulted, physically or mentally ill-treated, neglected, abandoned or exposed in any manner likely to cause a child unnecessary suffering or injury to health, including injury to or loss of sight or hearing or limb or organ of the body, or any mental derangement. A person who commits an offense under subsection 1 shall be liable on conviction and indictment in a circuit court to a fine or imprisonment with hard labor for a term not exceeding 5 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment. And summary conviction before a resident magistrate to be fined to a fine not exceeding $1 million, or to imprisonment with hard labor for a term not exceeding 3 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment. So this is basically saying, if the child is under your care, it is your responsibility to ensure that the child is not neglected or exposed to anything that can cause this child harm, whether physically or mentally. And this, of course, includes being sexually abused. So, parents and adults who have children in their care have a responsibility to ensure that children are protected. Because if you abandon the pitney or if you neglect the pitney and something happen, and it can be proven that it is as a result of your abandonment or neglect, then the court can hold you accountable and you can go to prison for it. So it is important who had custody of this child when the alleged incident or incidents were happening. Who had custody? Was there neglect? Was this child abandoned? What was the circumstances surrounding the care of this child? And that is why when we hear people attack who have absolutely no knowledge of the subject and they are pretending as if They are speaking from a place of authority. Please, if you are interested in protecting children, do a little research, man. Just do a little research before you open your mouth and speak out of ignorance. Now, another question that must be asked is, who know and when them know? Why is this important? Because according to the law, every adult in whatever capacity, once you have information or suspect that a child is being abused, you have a responsibility to report this to the authorities. And the authorities don't just mean police. You have victim support, you have Office of the Children Advocate, and you have a number of agencies that you can report this to. You can report it to a counselor, you can report it to a pastor. There are so many avenues that you can use to report incidents of abuse to children. Now, let me speak again from a place of authority. Now we are going to read what the law says. Pay keen attention to this part. Any person who has information which causes that person to suspect that a child has been, is being, or is likely to be abandoned, neglected, or physically or sexually ill-treated, or otherwise in need of care and protection, shall make a report to the registry. Want to hear that? Any person who have information that a child is being molested, or have information that cause you to suspect that a child is being molested, you have a responsibility to make a report to the authorities. So, when did people find out that this kid was being molested? Who know and when? Because guess what? The people them who know and never report it are criminally liable. Let me say that again. If there are any adults, whether relatives or otherwise, who knew that this child was being molested and failed to report it, they are also criminally liable. Let me just skip down. Let me just jump down to subsection 4. It says, a person who contravenes subsection 2 or 3 commits an offense and shall be liable upon summary conviction before a resident magistrate to a fine not exceeding $500,000 or imprisonment to a term not exceeding 6 months, or to both such fine and imprisonment. Now look at subsection 6. No action shall lie in respect of any person who makes a report to the registry in good faith pursuant to this section. So it has said, if you suspect say something happen and you report it and them investigate it and nothing ain't that happen, once you made that report in good faith, the law can't hold you responsible because you carried out your responsibilities. You did not do it with any malice or ill will. You did it in good faith. So the law protect you. Even if you suspect that something happened and you report it and then it turn out to be nothing. The law protect you. Which means this is something that the law takes seriously. For adults or anyone who have information that a child is being molested or you suspect it to happen, the law say you have to report it. Now here is the problem of uploading a video with the alleged perpetrator who has not gone through due process. Now in uploading that video, what you did was to broadcast a person's image and accuse that person without due process of being a child predator. And me hear a lot of people say because the youth run, it means him guilty. People, those of you who know me law enforcement background. A man where I run from you don't necessarily mean guilt. You can't have it both ways. You can't send a signal to law enforcement and to the authorities that when it is convenient, a man who run means guilty. But in other circumstances when a man run, if the police take certain action, what am I going to say? Now people understand this is what is called a balanced reasoning. A lot of people don't know the difference because they're blinded by allegiance and who they support and who them like from who them not like. Now you can go back and play this video. Even if something should have happened to one of my family members, you can go back and play this video and you will find no discrepancy where I am concerned. Now in broadcasting that image, the first thing you do is you potentially took away justice for the other victim them. You single-handedly took away justice for the other victims. I'm going to tell you why. If for any reason this matter should end up in court, it don't necessarily have to be pertaining to Mr. Vega's son, because it is alleged that there are other victims. So let's say this matter end up in court. What do you think is going to happen? Especially if there's a good defense attorney on that case. What do you think is going to happen? The defense attorney is going to say to the court, Your Honor, my client image has been plastered on social media. And so everybody who have access to social media has seen my client on social media being branded as a child predator. And that is why they might tell lie for my client. And I guarantee you, if there are no substantial evidence, tangible, DNA, that sort of thing, to tie this person to whatever crime or the crime they are alleged to have committed, that person I go walk. Not two way about it. For people who bright and say them a scholar, you cannot upload a man's image to the internet without due process and accuse him of a crime. That is the heights of irresponsibility. And by so doing, you potentially deny justice for other victims. Now, me already talked about the reporting responsibility. When people find out, was this matter reported? Who was it reported to? Because if it was reported, whether to the police or anyone else, and them fail to take action, the law are going to hold them liable. So it said. So the law is so serious when it comes on to protecting children. The written law is adequate. It is the enforcement that is inadequate. Because the law says you have a responsibility to act once you believe say a child is being abused, molested, neglected, abandoned, you name it. The law says you must act. So if this was reported to the police and them not do nothing, who did you report it to? Which police? Because that police in a serious problem. If this was reported to the police and nothing was done, then that police in a serious problem. And let me educate the citizens of Jamaica. When you go to a station and you make a report, them supposed to give a receipt. The receipt look like this. It's supposed to detail the date where you go, the crime where you report, or whatever else you report, and who took the report. And don't leave until them get the receipt. But let's say you didn't physically go to the station and make the report. If you call the person on the other end of the line, supposed to identify themselves when they answer the phone. Ensure so you have their name there. And you write down the date and the time and who you talk to. So people, let's not use children as pawns. If we are serious about protecting children, let us educate ourselves on what it means to be advocates and also educate ourselves where we can make these reports, who we can talk to. And finally, let us be human first. Same love where you have for your pitney, have it for the next man pitney. Same way you that take care of your pitney, take care of the next person pitney same way. Same way you that want somebody to look out for your youth, look out for your next person youth the same way. That is only if we are serious about protecting children. As long as it's not lip service and we're serious about it, we can talk. If you enjoy the video and want me to do a follow-up, just let me know. Put in the comment section some of the things that want me cover and we can deal with it. Until next time, bless upon yourself and peace.